The great galactic council was in session, the grand chamber, filled with hundreds of alien leaders, buzzed with noise. They spoke of dividing Earth's resources, laughing at how weak humans seemed. To them, Earth was just a small world with nothing but ambition. The council leader, a tall creature with silver skin, raised his hand. "We must not waste time. Humanity has grown noisy. They are reaching into space. If we do not act, they will disturb the balance," the others agreed. Some suggested enslaving humans. Others wanted to strip Earth of minerals and oceans. The laughter grew louder. Their arrogance filled the chamber. But then the sound cut off. A signal had entered the hall. It was not an invitation. It was not a plea. It was a voice, sharp and clear. "This is Earth," the voice said, steady and cold. "Declare war on us, and regret it forever." The words echoed through the chamber. Silence fell like a shadow. Every leader froze. Some blinked in disbelief. Some laughed nervously, but inside, they felt something they could not explain: fear. An alien general with bronze armor stood up. "Humans are nothing. They cannot speak to us like this." His voice shook. But his pride kept him strong. He slammed his claw on the table. "They bluff. They are ants. If we wish, we can crush them in one strike." But from the corner, an elder alien, his skin pale with age, rose slowly. His eyes carried memories of war. "Do not laugh too quickly," he whispered. His voice was soft, but it carried across the hall. "You do not know what they are capable of." The council turned to him, confused. The elder continued, "Centuries ago, before they had great ships, humans fought among themselves. They built weapons that could burn worlds. They tore their own nations apart. Yet they never surrendered. They always rose again. Do you think such a race will bow to you?" Murmurs spread. Some council members shifted uncomfortably. A younger alien snorted, "Old tales, nothing more. Humans are loud, but weak." The elder's gaze was steady. "Weak? Then why do their words cut deeper than blades? Why does their silence after the message weigh heavier than fleets?" The chamber grew restless. Leaders looked at one another. Doubt spread like fire. One commander finally spoke, "Even if the humans fight, they cannot defeat the united fleets of the galaxy. We are millions. They are one world." The elder smiled bitterly. "That is what makes them dangerous. One world, one people, one fire, and they warned us, not with fear, but with certainty." Whispers grew louder. Some leaders wanted to test Earth, others wanted to ignore them. But the seed of fear had been planted. The council leader slammed his staff against the floor. "Enough! We will test their threat. We will send fleets toward their world. If they truly have power, we will see it. If not, Earth will fall and be forgotten." Gasps filled the chamber. The decision was made. Pride guided them, not wisdom. But deep within the silence, the elder whispered again, though few heard. "You think you're hunters, but you walk into a trap. The humans have already warned you, and they do not warn twice." That night, across the galaxy, fleets prepared to move. Alien soldiers laughed at the message, mocking the humans' arrogance. They believed Earth was nothing, just a blue dot in the dark. But in secret rooms, whispers grew louder. What if the humans are not lying? What if they are ready? On Earth, the silence continued. No reply, no plea, just the echo of their one line: "Declare war on us, and regret it forever." Even far from the chamber, those words would not fade. Some leaders dreamed of the voice, cold and sharp, as if it had spoken directly to their hearts. Some woke trembling, some clenched their fists in anger, and somewhere, hidden beyond known space, human warships stirred in the shadows. Their lights remained off, their weapons silent. But their engines burned with quiet fire. They had waited for this moment. The council thought Earth was a small world, but the humans were no longer just children of Earth. They were hunters in the dark, watching, waiting. The warning had been given, and the galaxy had laughed. But soon they would learn that laughter turns to screams when the prey they mocked reveals its fangs. The message was not just words. It was truth wrapped in silence, a promise written in fire. And as the fleet set course toward Earth, the galaxy stepped closer to a nightmare it could not yet imagine. The fleets moved with pride across the stars. Ships of different species formed lines of steel and fire. Commanders boasted of their victory before the war had even begun. On every ship, soldiers mocked the warning from Earth. Some repeated the line with laughter, "Declare war on us and regret it forever." They said it in jest, not knowing the weight behind it inside one war council ship. The highest commanders gathered, the leader of the campaign, a tall, scaled alien with glowing eyes, spoke loudly. "Humans believe themselves strong. They are a mistake. We will erase them and take their world." One younger officer raised his voice, though nervous. "With respect, Commander, what if the humans truly are prepared?" Their message did not sound like a bluff. The room filled with laughter. The commander slammed his claw on the table. "Do not tremble at words. Young ones always fear shadows. But we carry the son of war." Yet even as the laughter filled the room, an old recording played in another corner of the ship. A message from the elder who had warned the council. His voice cracked with age. "You mock what you do not understand. Humanity is not like the rest. They are born from struggle. They are sharpened by pain. If you push them, they will rise, and when they rise, you will fall." Some officers avoided listening, but others grew quiet. Doubt was a dangerous thing. It spread faster than fire on the outer rim of the galaxy. The fleets began to vanish. One patrol ship sent a message of panic before going silent. "We are not alone, shadows in the void. They are here." The signal cut off. Nothing remained. Another fleet of 5 ships reported strange readings. Their instruments showed dozens of signals, but the scanners found nothing. The soldiers looked into the dark space outside their windows and swore they saw shapes moving. Before long, their lights went out. The commanders grew restless. They told themselves it was just space hazards, accidents or malfunctions, but deep inside, they knew something hunted them. On Earth, silence still reigned. No broadcasts, no threats, only the weight of the first message. Yet across the stars, humans were already moving. Ships with black hulls, silent engines, and weapons hidden from every scanner. They did not announce their presence. They stalked the invaders like predators. On one alien ship, soldiers sat in the mess hall. Mocking the humans, one slammed his fist on the table. "Weak creatures, they live on one world. We have thousands. They will fall like insects." Suddenly, the lights flickered. The laughter stopped. A voice cut through their ship's speakers, cold and sharp. "You were warned." Panic spread. Soldiers ran to their stations, but it was too late. The ship shook violently, metal screamed. Explosions lit the halls outside the window. A dark shape passed silently. A human ship, massive with no insignia. A single shot from it tore the alien ship apart. Other fleets rushed to respond, but every time they fired, their weapons missed. Human ships moved in ways the galaxy had never seen. They struck with precision, always vanishing into darkness before anyone could return fire. One commander shouted, "How do they see us in the dark?" Another answered with fear in his voice, "They do not see us. They are already there." Waiting, reports came from every direction. Fleet lost, no survivors. Ships missing, no trace. Enemy unknown, but they strike like ghosts. In the grand chamber of the council, updates arrived one after another. Leaders who once laughed now sat in silence. The elder who had warned them shook his head slowly. "You did not listen. You believed numbers meant power. But humanity does not fight with numbers. They fight with will." The council leader slammed his staff on the ground. "Impossible. They cannot defeat us all. They are one world." The elder leaned forward, his voice heavy with truth. "One world is enough. If every heart beats as one," they warned us, and we laughed. Now you hear their answer. Meanwhile, deep in space, a surviving alien officer recorded his last message before his ship was destroyed. His voice trembled. "To anyone who hears this, do not follow us, do not test them. The humans are not prey, they are the hunters. They fight with silence, they strike with fire, and they do not forgive." The recording ended in static. The ship was gone, back in the council chamber. Silence stretched long. The leaders who had mocked Earth looked at each other. Fear now etched on their faces. The message from humans was no longer a bluff. It was truth, and still Earth said nothing more. Only the echo of their warning remained, carried across the stars like a shadow. "Declare war on us." and regret it forever. The fleets had mocked it, the council had ignored it, but now, with ships burning and soldiers lost, the galaxy began to understand. Humanity did not shout, humanity did not beg. They warned once, and then they struck. What was coming next would shake the stars themselves. Dark space stretched like an endless ocean. The alien fleets that had once moved with pride now drifted in fear. Entire armadas had vanished. Ships that carried thousands never returned. Messages cut off mid-scream, leaving only static behind. The galaxy began to whisper of shadows in the void. Shadows that carried the mark of humanity on the flagship of the invasion. Commander Threx stood before a vast star map. His claws tapped against the metal table. Around him, his officers sat in silence. They had no songs of victory left, only heavy reports of loss. How many fleets remain? He asked coldly. One officer looked down at his screen. Less than half, Commander, and those still alive report. Ghosts, ships they cannot see, attacks that come from nowhere. They are terrified. Threx's eyes glowed with anger. Ghosts do not destroy fleets. Tell me the truth, the officer hesitated before speaking again. The truth, Commander, is that the humans are not fighting us openly. They stalk us, they strike fast, they disappear, we fire into the dark. But it is useless, the commander growled, smashing his fist against the table. We are the greatest power in the galaxy. No world has ever stood against us. Humanity cannot change that, a voice from the shadows replied, calm and steady. And yet, they already have. The council elder had joined the war council uninvited. His old eyes glimmered with warning. Threx hissed, "Why are you here, old one?" The elder leaned on his staff. "Because I told you this would happen. You laughed, you mocked, but now you see, humans do not fight like you. They fight like predators. They let you come closer. Then they strike where it hurts most," Threx sneered. "Then tell me, elder, how do we stop them?" The elder shook his head. "You don't, you listen to them. They warned us once, that was their mercy. They will not give it again." Before Threx could reply, alarms filled the flagship. Red lights burned across the bridge. "Enemy contact," shouted a soldier. "Sector 9. Unknown ships detected. On the screens, shadows moved in silence. Sleek black ships with no signals, no flags. Their design was unlike anything the aliens had ever seen. Then a voice came through the comms, sharp and cold. "You were warned." Fear froze the crew. Weapons fired wildly into space. But the human ships did not move in straight lines. They twisted and turned with impossible speed. One alien officer gasped. "They move like they know our fire before we shoot." Explosions lit the void. Alien warships cracked open like glass. Each blast echoed across the flagship. Shaking its core, Threx gripped the railing, his eyes wide. For the first time he felt true fear. "Retreat!" one officer shouted. "We cannot win this," Threx growled. "No retreat. We fight until the last ship." But his voice broke with doubt. His pride no longer sounded like strength. On one destroyed vessel, a survivor sent a final message into space. "To the Council. They do not fight for victory, they fight for survival. And nothing can defeat that." Then his signal was lost in fire. Back on the flagship, silence spread after the battle ended. More than 20 ships had been lost in minutes. While the humans vanished again into the black, Threx stared at the map. Now filled with empty spaces, what are they? He whispered almost to himself. The elder answered softly, "They are what you made them. You mocked them, you provoked them. Now you face their true nature." Threx turned sharply. "They are one world, one small world. How can they defeat the galaxy?" The elder's eyes narrowed. "Because they are not just a world. They are every battle they ever fought, every struggle they ever survived. Do you not see? Their strength is not in numbers. It is in their will. Break their bones and they rise. Burn their cities and they rebuild. Strike at their hearts and you only make them stronger." The commander trembled, but his pride forced him to laugh weakly. "No one is that strong." "No one." The elder leaned closer. "Then wait. Watch what happens next." At that same moment, far from the flagship, in the dark between stars, a massive human warship uncloaked for the first time. It dwarfed even the largest alien ships. Its hull was black as night. its cannons glowing with silent power, and across its steel body, words were carved in burning letters. Words every alien could read. You were warned. The message carried across the galaxy. Some leaders trembled, some wept, but all understood. The war they thought would be easy had turned into something else, something they could not control, and for the first time in their long history, the galaxy realized it was not humanity that should regret. It was them, the human warship, hung in the dark like a silent shadow. Its black hull swallowed the starlight, glowing only with faint lines of power that pulsed like veins. The alien fleet stared at it from a distance. Afraid to come closer, no signal came, no request for surrender. Only the silent presence of something far more dangerous than they had expected. Inside the alien flagship, Commander Threx shouted orders. "Form a wall, surround them, they cannot fight all of us at once." His voice shook, but pride forced him to stand tall. Officers rushed to obey, though fear lingered in their eyes. The human warship remained still, watching, waiting. Then, without warning, its lights brightened. Its engines hummed with a deep growl. A voice came through the comms, clear and cold. "You were warned." The alien fleets opened fire, beams of energy, missiles, and plasma rained across the void. For a moment, the space between stars became a storm of light. But when the smoke cleared, the human ship was still there. Its armor gleamed. "Untouched," an officer gasped. "Impossible. That was a full volley from every ship. How can it still stand?" The Elder, who had remained silent until now, whispered from the shadows, "They are not using armor. They are using something else, something beyond your understanding." The human warship moved. Not fast, but with purpose. Its cannons turned, glowing brighter. A single shot fired. The beam was silent, almost soft, but when it struck, 3 alien battleships exploded at once. Their screams filled the comms before going silent. Panic spread. Ships tried to retreat. But the human vessel advanced, its weapons firing with precision. Each shot destroyed without waste. Each move planned like a predator chasing prey. Threx gripped the railing, his claws digging into the steel. "No, this cannot be. They should not have this power." The Elder spoke again, his voice calm but heavy. "You should have listened. Humanity does not reveal its strength until forced. You asked for war. Now you see the price." On one alien destroyer, soldiers ran through the corridors. Alarms blaring. One young soldier cried out, "Why don't they talk? Why don't they demand surrender?" His commander shook his head. "Because they already did. And we ignored it." The destroyer shook violently, fire rushing through its hull. Outside, the human warship loomed closer, its cannons glowing again. It did not need words. Its presence was the warning in the council chamber across the galaxy. Leaders received reports one after another. Entire fleets destroyed, no survivors, unknown human technology. The chamber that once laughed now sat in silence. Some leaders trembled, some covered their faces. The council leader whispered, "What have we done?" One of the younger leaders slammed his fist on the table. "This is impossible. How can one world stand against us all?" The Elder, watching them, said, "Because you see a world, but they see themselves as a people united. They are not divided by council politics. They do not waste strength in arrogance. They fight as one. And that is why you will lose." Meanwhile, on the battlefield, the human warship finally stopped moving. The alien fleets, broken and scattered, drifted in silence. Only a few damaged ships remained. Their commanders whispered of retreat, but fear chained them to the battle. Then the human ship opened its comms again. This time, the voice was even colder. "This is your second and final lesson. Do not mistake silence for weakness. Do not mistake peace for fear. You were warned once. You will not be warned again." The alien ships hesitated, unsure whether to attack or retreat. But before they could decide, the human warship vanished. Its body melted into the dark, as if it had never been there. The remaining fleet searched, scanning every direction, but nothing appeared. Only silence filled the void. That silence felt heavier than the battle itself. Back in the alien flagship, officers looked at Commander Threx. His pride had broken, his eyes were wide with horror. "They disappeared," he whispered. "They fight and vanish like ghosts. How do we defeat shadows?" The elder gave his final answer. "You don't. You survive by remembering their words, declare war on them, and regret it forever." For the first time in their history, the mighty fleets of the galaxy realized they were no longer hunters. They were prey, and somewhere in the dark, humanity was still watching, waiting, ready to strike again. The galaxy trembled. Rumors spread faster than light. Entire fleets had been erased by human warships that moved like shadows. No one understood how Earth, a single world, could unleash such power. Some called it sorcery. Others whispered of ancient technology hidden away. But no one could deny the truth. Humans had warned them, and the warning had been real on the alien flagship. Commander Threx stared at the empty space where the human warship had vanished. His officers sat in silence, afraid to speak. Finally, one young officer broke the stillness. "Commander, we must retreat. We are walking into traps. Every ship we send is destroyed," Threx growled, but his voice carried weakness. "Retreat means shame. We are the strongest power in the galaxy. How can we tell our people that we lost to one world?" The elder, who still stood among them, leaned on his staff. "Better shame than extinction. You laugh at the idea of retreat, but your fleets are already ashes. If you continue, there will be nothing left to return to." Threx's claws scraped the railing. "We are millions, they are one. Numbers must matter." The elder looked at him with pity. "You do not understand. It is not their numbers you should fear. It is their resolve." Even as they argued, alarms rang again. A panicked voice came through the comms. "Multiple signals detected. They are surrounding us." The officers froze. "How many ships?" Threx demanded. The reply came with terror. "Not many, only a dozen. But they move like hundreds." On the main screen, black shapes emerged from the void, human ships, each glowing faintly with deadly light. They moved as one, silent and precise. The alien fleet prepared to fire. But before the order could be given, the humans struck first. Beams of energy cut through alien ships. Entire cruisers exploded in silence. The humans attacked from impossible angles, striking weak points no scanner should know. It was as if they could read the aliens' thoughts before they acted. "Shields are useless," an officer cried. "They are inside our systems." "They know where to hit," Threx shouted. "Fight back all weapons." Now, the fleet unleashed a storm of fire, but every shot missed. Human ships twisted, vanished, and reappeared behind their targets. Each move was calculated, each strike devastating. One alien captain screamed into the comms, "We cannot even see them properly. They strike and vanish. Like ghosts." His message ended with static as his ship broke apart. The elder closed his eyes, whispering, "The humans are not fighting to win battles. They are fighting to end wars." Threx turned sharply. "What do you mean?" The elder opened his eyes. "They do not seek conquest. They do not seek your lands or riches. They fight only when pushed, and when they fight, they do not stop until no threat remains. That is why they warned you. That was their mercy. You spat on it." The battle outside grew worse. Human ships moved in small packs, tearing apart massive battleships as if they were nothing. For every alien ship destroyed, the humans lost none. Fear broke the alien ranks. Some ships turned and fled without orders. Their commanders no longer cared for honor or victory. They only wanted to survive. Threx slammed his fist against the console. "Cowards, all of you! Stand and fight," but even his voice cracked. His officers looked at him not with respect, but with doubt. Suddenly the human fleet halted. Their ships surrounded the flagship in silence, every cannon aimed directly at Threx's vessel. The crew held their breath, waiting for the final strike. Then a voice came, deep and cold. "You were warned. You were given a chance. And you chose war." The officers trembled. Some fell to their knees. Threx roared in defiance. "We are not afraid of you. We will never bow." The voice replied with calm finality. "You already have." Light filled the screens. But the human weapons did not fire. Instead, they released a pulse. The alien ships froze, their systems dead, their weapons silent in one moment. The entire fleet was disabled, not destroyed, but powerless. The elder whispered, "Mercy again, though you do not deserve it." The human voice spoke once more. "Leave Earth, leave our skies, remember our words. This is your last chance." And then, as quickly as they had appeared, the human ships vanished into the black. The alien fleet floated helplessly, engines slowly returning to life. The officers sat in stunned silence. None dared to speak. Threx gripped the railing. His pride shattered. His voice was barely a whisper. "They could have destroyed us, but they didn't," the elder nodded. "Because they do not fight for glory. They fight only when forced, and when they fight to end the threat. You are alive only because they allowed it." Across the galaxy, news spread of the battle. Leaders who once mocked Earth now spoke in whispers. Some swore never to touch human space again. Others planned in silence, their fear growing with every report. And on Earth, there was still silence, no speeches, no celebration. Only the echo of their one message: declare war on us, and regret it forever. The galaxy was silent. Fleets that once carried pride now floated with fear. News of the human strike spread faster than fire. Entire armadas had been broken, and yet Earth had not claimed a single world. They had not demanded surrender. They had not taken territory. They had only spoken once more through action, a warning carved into the memory of every survivor. In the council chamber, leaders gathered in panic. The hall that once rang with laughter now shook with whispers of dread. The council leader, pale and trembling, slammed his staff against the floor. "This cannot continue. We are the rulers of the stars. How can one world defy us?" A younger voice rose from the chamber. Filled with fear, "They did not just defy us. They humiliated us, they broke our fleets, they spared us. That is worse than death," another leader hissed. "We must strike again. We must gather every fleet, every weapon. We must crush them before they grow stronger." The elder stood, his eyes heavy with truth. "Foolish words. Have you not learned? The more you strike, the stronger they rise. You cannot crush humanity, you can only awaken them. And when they awaken fully, none of us will survive." The chamber grew restless. Some leaders shouted for peace, others for war. But fear hung over all of them. Far away, in the void of space, the remnants of alien fleets limped back to their home systems. Soldiers who had once mocked humans now whispered their warning to their children. Declare war on them and regret it forever. They spoke it not as a threat, but as a truth carved into their souls. Inside the alien flagship, Commander Threx sat alone. His claws shook as he looked into the dark. His pride had been shattered. His officers avoided his gaze. Finally, one of them asked, "Commander, what do we tell our people?" Threx's voice was hollow. "Tell them the truth. Tell them we faced a power we cannot match. Tell them we live only because they allowed it." The officer lowered his head. "Do you believe they will strike again?" Threx stared into the void. "No, not unless we force them, and if we do, it will not be fleets that vanish next time. It will be worlds, back on Earth." Silence remained. No parades, no declarations. Humanity spoke through its quiet strength. In secret command centers, human leaders watched the stars. Their fleets rested in the dark. Cloaked and waiting, the message had been sent. But they knew prideful enemies would test them again. In one hidden base, a human admiral stood before his officers. "They think we are hunters in the dark," he said, his voice calm. "They are wrong. We are defenders. We do not fight for conquest. We fight because they forced us to. But remember this, if they return, we will finish it. We will make sure no one threatens Earth again." The officers nodded in silence. Their eyes burned with the same resolve. Humanity had been underestimated for the last time. Meanwhile, whispers spread across the galaxy. Some races began secret pacts of peace with Earth, offering trade and respect. Others hid in fear, building defenses they knew would not matter. The galaxy had been shaken, but more than that, it had been humbled. One night in the council chamber, the elder spoke to the assembly one final time. "You asked why humans spoke with such cold certainty when they said, 'Declare war on us and regret it forever.' Now you know. It was not arrogance, it was truth, a truth we ignored. And we paid the price." The chamber fell silent. Not one dared to argue. And so the galaxy learned to fear silence. For silence meant the humans were watching, waiting, unseen but never unprepared, when traders passed by Earth's borders. They reported seeing no fleets, no armies, only the quiet blue planet turning slowly in the dark. But every alien who looked upon it whispered the same words with unease. Do not provoke them, do not test them, for they knew that somewhere in the void, human warships still waited, unseen but ready, and the warning remained, sharp as ever, carved into the hearts of every race: declare war on us, and regret it forever.